Hello, everybody. It's Lynn here, the Go Live Granny. And sorry I'm a bit late. I was fiddling with my lights because I'm trying to light myself so you don't get the reflection in my glasses. But I'm finding it a bit difficult working on that. Anyway, hello, everybody. Let's see who's here. I can see Richard coming in. Hello, Richard. Nice to see you. So it's been a while. So today it is, let's see what it is. It's Friday and it's the 12th of April. Hello, Abby. Nice to see you. Abby, sorry I didn't get along on Tuesday. It just wasn't possible. I wanted to do it, but it wasn't possible. Hope you had a good event. So I haven't live streamed for a while. And one of my lovely friends said, "Oh, when are you going to do another live stream?" And I thought, you know what? I think I'll do one today. So here it is. There. Hello, Kath. Nice to see you. So it is, and I'm having to hold my camera at the moment. I have a little stand to put it in, but I've got it plugged into the power, and the plug-in lead is at the bottom, and the stand. So I can't. This is my stand, and I can't put it in the stand because then I couldn't plug it in. The wire's in the way. Oh, it's next week, is it, Abby? Maybe I'll come. Hello, Tina. Nice to see Tina coming in there on Facebook. From Devon, I believe, aren't you? Abby's here on the island. Kath lives on the island, but is off the island at the moment. Richard coming in from Birmingham. So I can't stand it on this because I need to plug it in to charge up, because if I don't leave it charging up, then we won't have a broadcast. But it charges very quickly. So in a minute, I might be able to unplug the wire and stand it on its little stand over here. So anyway, it is Friday the 13th. No, it's not. It's not Friday the 13th. It's Friday the 12th of April, 2024. And if you're coming in on the live, a big welcome to everybody on the live. If you're coming in on the replay, then please pop replay in the comments. Obviously, that's in the future from when I'm live streaming, but just pop it in, pop a comment in, and I will try and get back to you. So it's lovely to be live streaming again this evening. I wasn't sure whether I would because I was quite tired today. And when I came back from the warm hub this morning, I felt really tired. And I thought I should live stream this afternoon. But no, I think I'm going to fall asleep and then I would miss it. So I decided that, I didn't decide to have a nap. I sat down in the chair. I was watching something on the screen over there, and I was sorting a drawer out here. And the next thing I woke, and it was about I woke up, it was about 2 hours later, and my daughter was just phoning me up for a chat. So I caught up on a bit of sleep. So that was good. So how's everybody been doing? So Facebook user coming in saying, "Hi Lynn, long time no see. Whoever you are, please identify yourself because you're coming in from the Facebook Go Live Granny community group, and groups don't allow me to see who it is. So if you want to be able to see who you are, either go to streamyard.com/Facebook and give it permission, or go out and come in on the Facebook, my Go Live Granny Facebook page, because then I would be able to see who you are. Because I can't see, it won't tell me. There are rules that say it's not allowed to tell me. So let me know who you are coming in from the group, because I like to say hello to everybody if I can. So anyway, I got some of my makes next to me. I thought I'd display some of the things that I've been making over there, and I started to make a. I wanted to decorate this so that you'd got a nicer background, but I ran out of time. I did start cutting some flowers out. Can you see? And I've got the most amazing die set here. So let me show you what I've got and what I was cutting with. Hello, Joseph. Right, Joseph. It was Joseph coming in from the user group. Wonderful, nice to see you, Joseph. Joseph has been a great supporter of the Go Live Granny community, coming in all the way from Australia. Are you still in Australia, Joseph? I know you used to be, but it's nice to see you. I don't do as much recording these days and live streams. Life changed and I was seriously ill, so I didn't do any. I'm just getting back into it now. So anyway, this is, can you see this die set? Whoops, it's got some amazing shapes on it, flower shapes, and I just started cutting some of them out. So I will decorate that board behind me and make it look a bit prettier, but I ran out of time to do that now. He sure is in Australia still. It's been a while. It certainly has been a while, but lovely to have you here nonetheless. It doesn't matter how long it is. And then we have another Facebook user coming in saying hi, Lynn. So whoever that Facebook user is, please can you either go out of there and come on the Facebook page, or let me know who you are by going to streamyard.com/Facebook and putting your name in and giving me permission there. Hello, Kathleen. Now, it's going to be Kathleen's birthday tomorrow. So I am going to sing. Cover your ears, everybody, because I'm going to sing to Kathleen because it's going to be her birthday tomorrow. And I mustn't let the day go by without singing happy birthday, because I'm probably not streaming tomorrow. Happy birthday to you. Actually, I tell you what, while I'm doing that, folks, if you can you put some emojis into the comments, some happy birthday emojis, whether you do birthday cake or streamers or clapping hands or whatever it is. So I'm going to sing happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Kathleen, happy birthday to you. And I wish you a really happy and wonderful day tomorrow, and hope that it's a nice, relaxing day for you. There we are. Abby's coming in saying happy birthday to you as well. I'll put that up because if you're on Facebook, you can't see the YouTube comments. So there we go. Look, Abby is saying happy birthday, Kathleen. Joseph saying he wasn't aware that I was streaming on YouTube as well. I've been streaming on YouTube. My son set me up on StreamYard. You might see in the corner it says StreamYard, which is software that I use. And my son set me that up on that, so I can go live on Facebook. Hello, Tracy. I can go live on Facebook. I can go live on 3 platforms at the moment. If I upgrade, I could go live on Instagram as well, but I haven't done that yet. So I'm just even struggling with this. I used to know what to do, and then after a lull, I had some issues getting set up before. So anyway, we're back here now. So Joseph saying, no wonder he didn't know that, as you're not subscribed to me over there. Oh, subscribe to me on YouTube, and then it will probably ping you a message, Joseph, I expect. There's Kath coming in saying, happy birthday for tomorrow, Kath. I don't know if Corrie is in the broadcast. Is Corrie in the broadcast? And if she's not, can somebody, she knows I was broadcasting and she wanted to come in. So if somebody could tag her, that's changed. Oh, you've subscribed now. Well done, Joseph. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. So nice to see all these people coming in here. So I wrote a little list of a few things I might chat to you about, because otherwise I forget, don't I? Because I get very forgetful these days. So lots of things have happened. I had a lovely week away with family. There were family things planned, and then the plans changed, and so an event has been postponed that was going to happen in Easter week, and so we weren't going to see each other, where we were all going to be getting together. And then my daughter said she invited me to go and see her, so she wanted to see me over sometime over the Easter weekend, because my oldest boy was going to be there with his partner and my two youngest grandchildren. And of course, my daughter's got 4 of my grandchildren. I got 6 altogether. And so all the grandchildren were going to be there, and 2 of my children were going to be there. So I was sort of faffing around deciding when I might be able to go. And it turned out that she'd invited my brother and his wife. So they were going to take me from the Isle of Wight to my daughter's on Good Friday, and then they were going to bring me back on Easter Saturday. You're popping over to YouTube now. Okay, Joseph, come in on YouTube if you like, whichever you like. And folks, don't forget to share. If you think other people might enjoy the ramblings of a 73-year-old granny, then do share. They might not, but some of you like it. Anyway, so then my daughter had a change of plan. You're 21 again, Kathleen. That's lovely to know. I think I'm heading for 21 about 4 times round. No, I passed 3 times round. I'm heading to 4 times round, I think, if my maths serves me well. I don't know whether it does anymore, but I did pass my GCSE or my O-level maths. I passed it at the third attempt, but I got it. And then I got a Scale 2 post for maths in a primary school where I didn't have to do much maths at all. So that was all right. So anyway, going back to what happened. So my daughter had a birthday the week before Easter. And then she suddenly realised that she and her husband could actually have time together. Her birthday was on a Sunday. She usually doesn't get time much to do it. Her husband's got a very high-powered job, and if it's a weekday, they're too tired to go out and have a meal in the evening. You know, they're just burnt out and whatever. So it was a Sunday. So would I go and up so that they could go out? So I went up on the Saturday. So she comes and collects me from Southampton and takes me. She's only an hour and 20 minutes from Southampton, so she doesn't mind driving to Southampton to pick me up. And so I go across on the ferry, and oh my goodness, what a good job! But it wasn't a day of the floods, because this week I wouldn't have been able to get through to the Red Jet unless I'd got waders on, because we had a flood. The very high tide flooded West Cowes, West Cowes, where the Red Jet is, and I would have had to paddle to the ferry. Lots of the shops over there got water coming in their shops, and the council are not doing anything to help them. And then the Environment Agency came along. There's a guy who runs a shop there, and he's very much like me. When he sees something he doesn't agree with, he gets on a live stream and shares it. And lots of us have shared it, because the Environment Agency then came and then said they'd got to remove all their sandbags. They'd got to get rid of the sandbags because they would be contaminated, and they would be fined if they left them out on the pavement, and they've got to do it quickly. So, no help for these people, just bad publicity. So not nice. Hello, Corrie, nice to see you. Lynn, you've got 11 years for 4 times round Lynn. Right, 11. Oh, I've got 11 years till I get to, yes. Right, okay, what's 4? No, 4? I haven't, I've got less than 11 years. 21 times 4, what's that? That's 20, 40, 60, 84. Oh, yes, you're right, Tracy. Sorry, my math's going up the creek. You're very right. No wonder I took 3 attempts to get my maths O level. Thank you. So, yes, I've got a little while to go till my 4 times 21 anniversary. So, anyway, where was I? Yeah, so I went... so my daughter collected me, and I went to my daughter's, and I took some crafting stuff because I was going to be there. So I went up, she took me up, and my brother brought me back, as he was going to do, per the original plan. He brought me back on Easter Saturday. I had Easter Sunday here on my own, and then on Easter Monday, my sister and my niece and my great niece were on the island, and they took us out to lunch at the Apley Manor, which is a place that we spent many, many, many happy hours with our mum and dad, who used to take us to meals there regularly. So it was like sort of living some old memories, which was really nice. Right, Joe's saying 3 Jaffa cakes. Look, let's put him up here. He's on YouTube. 3 Jaffa cakes, a loaded Lamington Mars bar, and 2 cans of Dr. Pepper. A real healthy breakfast. And these Jaffa cakes are McVitie's delish. Right, okay. Well, that wouldn't do for me, Joseph, because I am doing Slimming World. And I have taken off 1.5 stone. And I have to say, I'm feeling much healthier. And I'm really noticing now the difference. I'm eating lots of lovely, healthy stuff. And I'm feeling much brighter, much more chipper. And so I'm sticking to it. Well, actually, I wavered a little bit today, but most of the time I stick to it, very, very much so. Kathleen's saying hi to Corrie, and Lula says hi too. And Lula is the dog, I think, isn't it? It's Lula the dog. I believe Lula's the dog. Lulu, sorry. So anyway, let's see if I tell you what, I'm going to try and put the phone down now because it's charged quite a lot. So I'm going to unplug it and put it on there so it doesn't wiggle about. Let's see how we're doing. Hello, Richard. Nice to see you there. I think you were in earlier, weren't you? But Maybe I didn't say hello to you. Sorry, I meant to say hello. So that's better, isn't it? There we go. All right, is that okay? So let's see. Yes, so it was wonderful. So I went to, you use your alter ego here. Okay, Joe. So that's good. But I'm really glad that you've come in. It's been quite a long time since we connected. So that's good. So yeah, so I had a wonderful time at my daughter's, and it's very much, she has a very busy life. She has to go off and do things, and then she organizes lots of things. I can't imagine where she got that from, but you know, she's organizing a scarecrow trail in the village where she lives. Last year I was there when she was doing that. She said, "Oh, while you're here, Mum, will you just help me make a scarecrow?" Which I did last year, and we did a Blue Peter scarecrow. People had to guess what it represented, and we did a Blue Peter one. She's doing one this year. I'm not going to say what it is in case anybody from her area happens to be watching in, because they have to guess what they are. And oh, Lulu's your cat. Sorry, Kathleen. I was thinking it was a dog, but it's a cat. Okay. And Kathleen saying, "Well done on my Slimming World Award." I'm pretty pleased, I have to say. Anyway, so yes, so the Scarecrow Trail is happening again soon, but this time she didn't really need my help. They've decided what they're doing. It's fairy tales this time, and she's got a plan, and her husband's going to help her with that. But Richard's saying he Miss Wurzel Scare. You Miss Wurzel Scarecrow Man. There you go. And Joe wants to know what breed is Lulu. So I thought Lulu was a dog. If I've misled you, I'm very sorry. So Corey's saying, "Hi Lynn, hope it was a surprise when Lynn wished you happy birthday." Well, I hope it was, and I can't begin to imagine how I knew it was your birthday, Kathleen. But I expect you knew. I expect you can guess. Richard's saying his brother has 2 Blue Peter badges and every Blue Peter album. My brother, and I think I might have it here, my brother who passed, or you know, who sadly took his own life, he had a Blue Peter badge, and I've got a tin of badges, and I think it might be in there, but I'm not sure. He had a little tiny Blue Peter badge, and he got his Blue Peter badge for submitting a picture of the smallest sunflower rather than the largest sunflower. It was the smallest sunflower. So never mind, it doesn't matter. That's how it was. Yes. So I had a wonderful going back to my daughter's. I had a wonderful time at my daughter's, and she's got lots of space in her house since they did a renovation and made their house bigger. And I could sit and craft and not be in people's way until the day when everybody was together and we needed to have a meal on the big table. You know, people congregate in different rooms, so I could have a corner of the dining room and do my crafting. And some of you might have seen the things that I gave to my children, my grandchildren. So I made some lovely Easter eggs out of card. I made some Easter baskets. I made a Ferris wheel. That was my pride and joy, the Ferris wheel that went round. Some of you might have seen it. I have to say I'm enjoying my paper crafting. It's a bit of an understatement because I'm enjoying it so much, and it's very therapeutic. And all these things are just made out of card. So these days I don't have to take all my equipment with me because I very sensibly I taught my grandchildren to um, to love crafting, and of course then I gave them lots of equipment, so I now don't have to take my die cutters up there when I go. I don't have to take my scoreboard. I don't have to take all the heavy stuff. I only need to take the dies that I want to do anything with, and only a little bit of equipment. Joe's saying that he will be heading to Victoria, the southernmost mainland state on the east coast of Australia in June. You cannot wait. So excited. That sounds fun. Something to look forward to, isn't it, folks? So do keep the comments coming. It's lovely to have all the comments. Right. And Kathleen's saying she's a short-haired black and white cat, Joe. There you go. So you've got your answer now. So that's lovely. And yes, so I was able to... So originally I was going to make these craft items and take them with me. Now that would have been a bit more tricky because once they're made up like this, they're very difficult to transport. But because I went before I'd made them, I was able to transport the card flat and then make the things up and then give them away. So the Ferris wheel, I gave my grandchildren. I used to sell children's books, and then at one point I was distributing Child's Play items. Child's Play is a publishing company, and they do children's books, and then they did toys to go with them. And there was an art that I had from way back then, long before ever grandchildren were coming on the scene. I had an old McDonald doll, and then I had all the little animals that were finger puppets. So I actually gave them the doll for Easter, and I put all the animals into the Ferris wheel, it was a working Ferris wheel, and some of you will have seen it. I made a reel and put it on Facebook, and it's had nearly 350 views of people looking at my Ferris wheel, so that was quite fun. Joe's saying that your cat is gorgeous. There we go. Right, so Richard's saying his brother got his first Blue Peter badge for his Walter Raleigh costume picture he sent him when he was 10 at the time Queen Elizabeth's Silver Jubilee in 1977. Excellent. Doing two places. You're going to Shepperton up in the Goulburn Valley and the capital city of Melbourne. I've got relations in Melbourne. My nephew and his wife and their daughter live in Melbourne. So that's lovely. And my brother, whose son that is, he and his wife they were in Melbourne recently visiting. So that was good. And hello, Shane Squire. Nice to see you. There you go. Abby's saying it was amazing. I think she means the Ferris wheel. I was delighted with that Ferris wheel. But keep watching, folks, because I'm going to make another Ferris wheel. I'm actually going to make a whole fairground of rides, because the company so things happen for a reason, don't they? For 2 years I'd been a great fan of Crafters Companion, which is the company that's run by Sarah Davis, or was set up by Sarah Davis when she was a student at university, and a wonderful craft company, or it always was. And then and some of us are so dedicated to it, and I only ever watched their shows, 3 shows a day and all that. And then all of a sudden, 3 members of the demonstrating team got fired immediately, and the shows all got cut, and the company weren't honest with us as the customers, and we were actually more than customers, because I get it when a company needs to change what they're doing to survive, that's okay. But when they try and bamboozle you and don't tell you the truth and then tell you lies, that's not okay. And actually, that's basically what happened. They pretended that they were cutting down the shows from 21 shows a week to 10 shows a week, no shows on the weekend, and saying, "Oh, we're giving you your time back." No, you're not. You're stopping your shows because that's what's suitable for you. But tell us the truth. Don't lie to us. Just say that you're having to do it for we would all have backed you, but lots of us didn't back them because they went about it in such a bad way. So I voted with my feet, because no point in having an argument with them. It's their company. They can do what they like. But if they want to treat us like that, then I don't want any part of that. So I've moved on. But in moving on, I found all these amazing things with another company. And the company now that I get a lot of those from, and this wonderful set of, I don't know if you can see that. This is the topper. These are the toppers for boxes. Can you see these wonderful boxes? And that's what I've cut out there. I don't know how well you can see that. You probably can't see it very well, but it's amazing. I'll make some of those boxes up so you can see. But this company is called Tonic Studios, and they have some amazing things. And they have the so I did the Ferris wheel, and they have I've managed to secure the Helter Skelter. What else have they got? They've recently brought out do you know the teacup rides that you can sit in giant teacups and they revolve round on a roundabout? They've got one of those to do in card. That's amazing. There's a carousel, like a horse's carousel, What else is there? There's quite a few things to do with the fairground. So I'm actually going to make the whole fairground. It will just be amazing. And you know what? It's so therapeutic. I absolutely love it. I love it to bits. So anyway, Richard saying that phone box needs to be blue and can dematerialize and transport itself like John Pertwee's TARDIS in Doctor Who. Yeah, well, this I was dead keen to get hold of this because I thought I loved it, and I took a while, but I managed to get hold of it. And this morning I was down at the hub. Now, some of you will know that on a Friday morning I do some crafting in a warm hub group, and I've been doing that since September. I get picked up by the person running the charity and the warm hub. She takes me in, and actually she didn't take me this morning because she had another thing to go to first, a networking meeting. So one of the other people who come to craft gave me a lift, but she gave me a lift this morning, but she wasn't able to stay. How wonderful was that she took me in from Ryde, so so that I didn't have to faff about on early buses. And Jan joined us later, and she didn't stay, so she just took me there and then went home again. But that was really nice. You know, I have some wonderful people surrounding me, whether it's actually in person here on the island or whether it's lots of you lovely people supporting me. There we go. And Joe's saying, wait a minute, he's saying, please click on that like button, share and subscribe. That's it. Yes, please do, folks, because the more traction we get, the better it is for the channel. Oh, right. Abby's saying that she's got a card from King Charles. Her sister-in-law lives in Australia, Melbourne. So that's interesting, jolly good. And Kathleen saying, yes, that was a nice surprise call. I wasn't expecting a birthday song. Well, you see, I was given the nod to and reminded that it was your birthday tomorrow. So I thought, right, I must make sure we sing to you. So there we go. I don't know where my birthday hat is. I haven't had the birthday hat for a long time, but I think it was better to sing to you without the hat than try and find the hat and not be ready in time. Anyway, going back to this morning at the hub, there was a guy from the Heritage Group, and Jan was telling him, so in the hub there is actually a real telephone box, you know, one of the old telephone boxes says it's in the hub. And then the Heritage Group do things in this hub in Newport. And I have a feeling we're going to be making some of these going forward at some time soon in the hub. So this morning, I think his name was Ashley from the Heritage Group, came over and we had a chat because he's trying to get some funding to do some stuff at the centre, at the hub, where all the groups, you know, bringing the groups together. And of course, the fact that I had made a heritage item in the craft group backed what he was trying to do in bringing everybody together. I was able to show him the picture. I didn't have this with me this morning, but I did have a picture of this. And some of you might remember, I took it when I made this, I took a picture of this. I put it down on the floor in front of the real large telephone box. So I've got a picture of the real telephone box and this one was just in front of it. But actually, you say if I make it in blue, it would be the TARDIS. But actually, the TARDIS was a police box, wasn't it? Not a telephone box. But we could play poetic license. Happy to make something like that if it appeals to people. And of course, I've got acetate. Can you see it's got acetate in it there? So that's fun. So I really did enjoy making that. It was a bit fiddly, but I'm getting better at these things, and I have got a really good glue. You know, I told you in the past, I've been to glue school and I've learned all the right glues and all the best glues to do these things with, because glue isn't just glue. For anybody who thinks glue is glue, no, it's not. There's so many different glues. And this one I'm using from Tonic Studio, and it's Nuvo glue, and it grabs quickly. It's wet as you put it on, so you just got a minute or two to wriggle it, do what they call wriggle room to get it in position, and then it grabs really quickly, and it sticks very quickly. And sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes you need a lot of wiggle room, sometimes you need an instant grab, sometimes you need it in between, and all the different glues meet all the different needs. But I know that now because I've been to Glue School. Did you know there was such a thing as Glue School? Well, you do now. Richard's saying that his brother got the second Blue Peter badge for writing in 1978 about having all the Blue Peter albums to date for Blue Peter 25th anniversary year 1978. And Richard saying that's good to hear, the guy from the group. Don't forget, very early telephone box in Bembridge Village. Absolutely, yes. There's so many there. Right, and Richard saying yes, police box, and of course, Guy on the Island has life-size police box prop. Yes, I know the chap who owns the the police box that is like a TARDIS here on the island. He's another one of those kind, generous people in the community, and he helped when we put in the Go Live Granny community float into the carnival. People came on board and helped, and I'm not going to forget Tracy, who is was in the chat earlier. I don't know if you're still there, Tracy, but Tracy was a phenomenal part of getting that carnival float organised for two different carnivals, the main carnival and the illuminated carnival. She was an absolute treasure, and of course I've forgotten his name. Roy. It's Roy. And Roy helped us on doing some of the prep on the lorry as well. So that was such a lot of work. We did it once. That was it. We weren't going back. I'm not going to do it again. It was so much work, but it was fun. We did it. We've got pictures and video to prove it, but not again. So anyway, so yeah. So at the hub this morning. So I met the heritage guy. I also met I've forgotten. There was a girl called Susie, and she came along, invited by Jan, and she teaches Makaton. And I didn't know much about Makaton. I know it's some sort of signing, but it's apparently it's. I want to learn much more about it, but it's signing. It's the sort of signing that people with learning difficulties use and understand. And I'm actually seriously considering whether she's got a course that she's doing, whether I actually go on a course and do that. I got to think, because it's a paid course. It's not expensive, but it's a paid course. So I got to think, what would I, when would I use it? But you don't know, do you? You don't know how much you're going to use something until the time just happens. So I'm quite interested in learning that sort of thing. So that was really interesting. And she went straight home and looked me up on social media and connected with me. And I found it very useful and very interesting to speak to her. Hello, Sarah. Oh, here we are. Sarah is in Melbourne, Australia. Look, so I don't think, Sarah, I don't think you can see because Joe was in just now, and he lives in Australia. He came in on Facebook, but then when he realised I was now streaming on YouTube, he hopped over to YouTube. But he's coming to Melbourne later in the year. There we go. And Corrie's saying that she had to learn it to help Daniel, her son, Daniel. So she uses Makaton. Richard's saying Makaton's very good, used on Mr. Tumble TV show. And in fact, absolutely, Richard, I know that because Jan was talking about it this morning and explaining to the people who came in talking from the Heritage group, saying that it was the signing and it was like Mr. Tumble used in the shows. In his TV shows. So all these things coming together. But, it was just every day's a school day, isn't it? So many things to learn. And I really think that I ought to do this course and, learn Makaton. I'm sure that it will be beneficial at some stage. So I'm really thinking about that. Right. So Corrie's saying she also learned English and Northern Ireland Sign Language. It's so good to know. Absolutely. Sarah's saying, "Oh wow, that's amazing. He will love Melbourne." So there you are, Joe. That's Sarah who lives in Melbourne, and she's saying you'll love it. So that's good. And I was saying how my brother was there recently visiting his his son, and then he went to Taiwan. Oh, didn't we have a bit of a scare the other day? Because, of course, Taiwan just had an earthquake, didn't they? My nephew lives in Taiwan, and my brother was there visiting him recently. So as soon as I heard about the earthquake, I, rather than ring my brother and say, "Is there any news?" and worry my brother, who, in case he hadn't heard, I messaged my nephew straight away, and that's exactly what my daughter did. And we got a response, knowing that they were safe and it was okay. They heard the earthquake, but although they were aware of it, but fortunately they're still here. Hello, Leslie. Leslie, where are you coming in from? Have we met before? Are you new into my broadcast? Sometimes I get people who watch and watch and watch and don't always comment. So I never know who's brand new here unless you tell me. So nice to see you, Leslie. Tell me where you're coming in from. I can see you coming in from Facebook, but where in the world are you? We've got people coming in from Australia. Not quite sure whether we've just got Australia and UK at the moment. We get people in from America and Canada. So let's see where everybody's coming in from. Joe's saying it will be his second time. He first visited Melbourne in 2016. So that would be nice for you. And Abby's saying her daughter is autistic and is sometimes goes non-verbal, so has been using Makaton since she was little. The more and more you're telling me, folks, the more I think that I do need to go and do this course. And I think that it's not an expensive course to do. So I think I'm going to message Susie and say I really need to do it. Um, uh, Oh yes, Leslie's saying yes. I think we have. Did you used to knit? Yes, I did. I knitted loads and loads and loads, but I seem to have changed from a knitter to. I still do some knitting, not a lot, but I've changed into a lot of paper crafting. A year ago, in December, I was seriously ill, and I almost passed away. Fortunately, I got myself to hospital, and the NHS doctors saved my life. And I'm here to tell the tale, thank goodness. And in my recovery, which was long, so all of last year I was in recovery, and it's only partway through this year that I really feel like I was actually, back to the human that I was before. Um, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yes, I started watching papercraft shows, and then I've become a papercrafter more. So you're in the west of Scotland. Oh right, but you must have been watching my broadcasts then, I presume, Leslie. So we've not met, but you've watched, obviously. Now Richard's saying his friend Will in Taiwan luckily wasn't affected. That's good. He and his partner there for a year facilitating a philosophy course in English, Mandarin and Taiwanese. So I'm glad he's safe and that's okay. Hello, Tracy. Tracy, I know through the crafting world. And although we used to support the company that I told you about just now, that we're not going to talk about anymore, um, it's great because it's brought me friends I didn't have before. So there's Joe saying hello to Tracy as well. So you just got back from seeing a friend. Lovely. Excellent. I think, Tracy, you were watching the Tonic show earlier, weren't you? Tonic Studio did a live stream earlier, but I didn't notice it when it was live. I watched it afterwards, and I heard that they said hello to you, Tracy, when they were doing their hellos. So here we go. Sarah's saying she's so glad I'm much better. Oh, and so am I. And you know what? I'm back to the point where I'm thinking of. So anybody who's known me for any length of time, and this is going pre-pandemic, I used to go. Around the country going and visiting family, and I've got two boys who live in the north and a daughter who did live in London but now lives in Wiltshire. And I used to go on the train and I used to have my adventures. I'd get myself on the train and off I'd go and do all these things, and we called it shenanigans because something would always happen every time. Every time I went traveling, something would happen. I usually managed to turn it into something humorous, even if I didn't feel humorous about it at the time, but I entertained lots of you with all the shenanigans of my travels. Then pandemic came and I stopped traveling, and then of course I was ill, so I didn't travel. But I am actually thinking of traveling again now. One of my boys would love me to go and see him, and it's not really fair to not really fair to expect him to come all the way down to pick me up like they did in pandemic and in difficult times. They did. My one son came all the way down from the north and picked me up and took me home, took me back, but now I feel like I could get on the train again. So I've been researching and looking at a rail card, and I'm actually now on the disabled list. I won't go into the details, but not as fit as I was. But I found that a disabled rail card is £10 cheaper than a senior rail card. So I've saved £10 there. But the fares to where I want to go to something like £150. So I have to reframe my brain and think, I'm going for a week's holiday. So that will be, I would pay. Do you know what I'm saying? Last time I went on the train, I used to be able to get around the country for like £30 or £40, but it's not the same as it was before pandemic. Hello, Joy. Joy's just come in. That's nice to see you. Wait a minute, let's go back. I've missed some of the comments. Tracy's saying hello to Joe. Karen, hello, Karen. You just noticed that I'm live. Yes, thank you, Karen. Nice that you come in. Tracy's saying she was making the sweet treat van and looking forward to the champagne on ice being delivered. I missed the champagne on ice, Tracy. I missed it yesterday, but apparently they're bringing it back again. So this is what Tracy was making. I don't know what colours you were making yours in, but I've just done this. This was released recently, and this is an ice cream van. You can see ice creams up here, but it could equally be a coffee van. I know the people who run Plaza Ices on the island, and I'm going to try and replicate their van. I'm going to use the colours to make their van. They've got a very eco ice cream van, and they've got eco ices. They're starting on some vegan ice cream. I think they were starting it today. So I might make their van. And then Tracy's saying she got the champagne on ice. And it was released at 4 o'clock yesterday. And I got an email, and I noticed it just before I was going to Slimming World at just about after 5:30. And I tried to do the order and think, I must get that before I go to Slimming World. And I thought, no, I'm going to make myself late. I'll do it when I come back. And then I didn't do it straight away. And by 8 o'clock in the evening, it was sold out. And it's beautiful, but they said they're going to restocking it. So I will try and get it next time. And it's a champagne bottles or beer bottles in a bucket. It says all card in a bucket, and it'll be beautiful. They're all gift box. All these things are gift boxes, you see. So here in the back of the van, you can put put things in the back of the van, and they're gift boxes. So it's just amazing. So I haven't got it, but I will get it. So let's have a look. So Tracy did manage to get the champagne on ice die cut. And the thing is, I don't mind buying these things because some of these things are being sold for charity. Okay, and I'll tell you about another one that actually I've got a buyer for one of these up here already. So anyway, just having great fun. Even if I wasn't selling them for charity, they're just doing me so much good mental health wise. I'm just enjoying them, and you as my audience are enjoying them. And I get enjoyment showing you what I've done, and you get enjoyment seeing what I've done. So it's win-win all the way around, isn't it? So Joy came in on Facebook. There's Caroline. Not seen you in a while. No, Caroline, we haven't. But get out there again. Well, I need to get out there again, so I will be. Tracy and Caroline, both from the crafting world. We met through the craft company that we were all customers of the craft company that we don't follow anymore, and we've all moved over to other ones. Right. Oh, Abby's saying that Nuvo glue is out of stock. Well, I put an order in last night, and I have 3 big bottles of this one coming in. So that order went in last night. So hopefully I will get my glue because it's good. Joe's saying hello to everybody. Caroline's saying hello there. Joe's saying he's already planning his travel for his 40th birthday lap around the sun. My 40th birthday was such a long time ago. I celebrated my 40th birthday by getting married to my second husband 2 weeks after my 40th birthday. I couldn't quite time it on my 40th birthday, but 2 weeks later I got married. But I'm not married now. I'm happily single. But actually, I had a very big anniversary this week, and some of you may have seen on my Facebook page. I actually mentioned my first wedding. So I've been married and divorced twice. My first husband, well, both neither divorces were nasty divorces like some people have, but my first one was very amicable, and our solicitors said we ought to give lessons in it because we didn't want to pay the solicitors huge amounts of money. That was our children's inheritance, so we did so much of the sorting out between ourselves and only used the solicitors for the bits that we needed. But anyway, so sadly my first husband, although we weren't together, he passed. He became alcoholic and died of alcoholic related things, which was very sad. But I met him on the 9th of April, which of course was this week, wasn't it? So the anniversary, so 53 years ago, I think it was, I met him. My parents' house was burgled, and he was the policeman that came to investigate. And so for me, if my parents' house hadn't been burgled, I never would have my 3 beautiful children and my 6 beautiful grandchildren. So although the marriage didn't last, well, it was 16 years, I think we were married. It didn't last, but the memories and what came from it, you have to always look at those sort of things, don't you? So I put that out, and what I didn't realize, that my youngest son, he met his fiance on the 9th of April. I don't think I ever realized that. We were just having a discussion this week about him celebrating his anniversary of meeting her, and I said, did you know that that's the day I met your dad? Anyway, we had a long conversation, and that was lovely. So hope you have some great travels, Joe. So when is your 40th? Is it coming up? Is it next year or is it further away? I don't know how old you are. I can't remember. Caroline loves the ice cream van. And these colours, see, these are my sort of colours, aren't they? And Gaz, who runs the Plaza Ices, he spotted this on my Facebook page when it was half done, and he said, I'm looking forward to seeing the result. So I now want to make one that looks like his van. I made vans previously out of a dye that I got from that previous company, and I made the Ace on the island. We've got a waste contractor who takes away your rubbish and stuff, and he did me a favor, so I made him. It was only a card; it wasn't actually a 3D model, and I made him. I looked at his van online, and I made it look like his van. Tracy's saying, did I get the twirling teacups? I most certainly did. I don't know if I've got them. Have I got them here? Or are they in the other? Here, yes, look. Look. Let's show you. So, look. Let's take off the comments and then you can see what I'm doing. The twirling teacups, look. Can you see? So I don't think you were in the broadcast, Tracy, when I said I'm going to make a whole fairground, because I'm going to remake the Ferris wheel, because I gave my Ferris wheel to my granddaughters. So I'm going to make that. I've got a Helter Skelter pattern die from the past. I managed to locate. I've got a carousel, a horse's carousel. What else have I got? There were several things that come from a fairground, and I just thought what fun it would be to have a whole fairground. I don't know where I'm going to put all these things. People, I give them away or I sell them, so that, otherwise I would have to have shelves everywhere to put everything. Message from... Right, okay. Thank you, Richard. Richard's giving me a message there from Debs. Help, I can't comment on Lid's live stream. I'm listening on YouTube. Hello, Debs. Nice to see you. Sorry you can't comment, but lovely that you were able to send Richard a message to tell me. And Joe's saying, There was a lot of people having issues with YouTube. Some cannot send super chats. Okay, that's a shame. I wonder what's going on there. But never mind. We manage, and of course, if you're able to communicate with each other, because lots of you know each other, then that's great. So thank you, Richard. I remember the time when I asked Richard to do me a favour in the middle of my broadcast, and some of you might remember this. Some of you who were watching a long time back, a long time ago, it was in pandemic time. I was doing a live stream, and I used to sit over that side of the room, and there was a ring on my doorbell. It was 10 o'clock at night, and there's a ring on my doorbell. Well, I don't go and answer my door at that time of night, but I've got a Juliet balcony, so I looked out the balcony door, and people were trying to deliver food to me. Well, I had not ordered any food, but some nasty idiot, and I know pretty sure I know who it was, ordered food from 5 takeaways in Ryde to come to my door. Gave them my phone number. Somehow he got that. They gave them my address. Ordered food that I wouldn't eat because I have I have some allergies, so some of the food would never have ordered, and then watched my live stream thinking it was hilarious. So I kept this live stream running, and while I was live streaming, I got Richard knows where I live. You know that thing, I know where you live. Because he was watching and he knew where I lived, I said, could you ring the police and report it for me? Which he did. Sadly, after I finished the broadcast, the police weren't interested in knowing anything about it. When I rang, they said, well, why are you ringing us? So that that's not great. But anyway, that it was my community helping me. So let's have a look. Oh, next year is Joe's 40th. He's thinking of doing the westbound Indian Pacific, Sydney to Perth. Excellent. That sounds nice. Well, I hope you have a wonderful time. Richard says his parents were together 53 years, including 52 years of marriage until we lost Dad September 25th, 2011. Dad, a birthday was 4th of April, 38, and they were married 6th of June, 59. Excellent. So that sounds nice, jolly good. Richard's saying his 37 and a half birthday was spent touring Australia and Queensland, Alice Springs and Sydney for a month. I've never been to Australia. I think I'm the only member of my family who never went to Australia. I had an invite because I have an aunt and uncle who live out there, and they always invited any of us to go, and all the rest of the family went. But at the time when I might have travelled, I couldn't find 6 weeks. You really need to do it for a period of like 6 weeks to make the best out of it. And I couldn't find that period when I could actually take that time to go. And so I never did. But, these days, we're lucky we can live life through the screen. So, I don't think I want to fly across the world anymore. But I'm loving watching people's live streams. It's just amazing. Sarah's saying she would love for me to come to Melbourne. I presume you dressed out at me, maybe not. It would be lovely, but I don't think I do have dodgy legs, and I don't, I would be worried about possible deep vein thrombosis, but I don't know. I just don't think that I want to travel that far. I'll travel around the UK again on the train, but I think going. I'm not frightened of flying, but I'm just bothered about that. It's not something that would float my boat at the minute. So anyway, we'll see. It's not my boat anyway. It'd be my plane. Having now said about the beauty of watching through live stream, this week I came across now her name's Kylie. It's Keily, I think it is, and I've shared it to my Facebook page. I can't remember what her surname is, and she and her partner, her driver. Well, I presume they're partners. Her driver. I don't know if it's her husband or what. They're doing tours of the Isle of Wight, and it's amazing because I used to do that, and I don't need to. I did it because there was a need that nobody knew where the Isle of Wight was or what was happening, and because Visit Isle of Wight, who became the marketing department, but they have not a clue, not much clue how to promote the Isle of Wight, and they were corrupt. They very sorry, I'm on my hobby horse again. They very corruptly got voted in to be the marketing people, and they now tax lots of the tourism businesses unfairly because people didn't have ballot papers and they didn't know about the vote and all that. But not only that, they didn't actually promote the island. They didn't use YouTube to show the beauty of our island. So that's why I became the Go Live Granny, to show the beauty of the island when they didn't. But now I'm at 73, it's time to slow down a bit. And I don't need to do it now because there are so many vloggers and bloggers who are doing the job. And then this couple, they actually live on the island, so they're not on holiday here like a lot of them are. So they're actually saying, well, where would you like us to go next? And I'm enjoying watching through their camera. Like lots of people said when I did it, when I showed off the beauty of the island, they said, oh, Lynn, we're loving this because, you know, my mum can't get to see the carnivals anymore. Or, you know, my auntie was just love watching whatever. And so now I am enjoying looking through their camera. So I've put a message on their YouTube channel and I hope to meet them and send them around the island to lovely places that they can show the beauty of the island. So that's lovely. So Richard's saying his mate Rich owns a beachside property in Adelaide. Oh, that's nice. And Richard's saying Zoom is wonderful. It is. There's so many ways now to communicate where you actually don't have to be in the same room. This morning, the Susie, the Macketon lady that I met, I said, oh, I'd have to invite her into my broadcast because I can have people, you know, more than one guest in my broadcast. And I said, and we don't have to be in the same room, you know, like you can come in from wherever and join me. So I might bring her in onto a broadcast sometime soon. Joe's saying it's a great place to visit. You need a month as a minimum, 6 to 8 weeks is recommended. Absolutely. And I wouldn't think going to Australia, you should do it for any less than 6 weeks. But there we go. My aunt and uncle's still alive. My brother, when he went to Australia, you know, he flew out on the 29th of December with his wife, and then they went they had how long they had? I think they had 6 weeks in. Yeah, they had 6 weeks in Australia, I think, and 6 weeks in Taiwan. And they went to see my uncle lives, I think, in Brisbane. And so they went to stay with him for 3 or 4 days. And my aunt and uncle my uncle's 90 something. I think he's about 93. And my aunt's a bit younger, but they're still alive. And so he went and he had a nice time there. Yes, Lynn, that's you, but I love all you do through your life. Thank you, Sarah. It's lovely. I'm just me. And this girl that I was watching yesterday and again today at different places on the Isle of Wight, she's so my sort of person. She's just like me. She's got a bit of a sense of she's got a sense of humor too, which of course I like. And so that you know, it's just I just love it. And now I'm going to start sharing out. So if I share her broadcast, I want people to share them on so that lots of people can see the beauty of our island. Sarah's saying she's actually going on holiday to a place called Tweed Heads. It's between Queensland and Sydney. It's called Tweed Heads near New South Wales, and can't wait. You're out of Melbourne winter for 2 weeks. Oh, of course, because it's your yes. So your winter is our summer, isn't it? So we yeah, absolutely. Hello, Andrew. Andrew's just come in. Just managing to get on Facebook Live. Just finished watching Coronation Street. Roy has been sent to jail, and it's so sad. Oh, sorry, I don't know if that's spoiling the plot. I don't watch EastEnders. I used to watch the soaps, and then I decided that my life didn't need any misery and heartbreak in it, so I don't watch any of those soaps where somebody will die on Christmas Day or whatever it is. So I actually go for the rom-coms and the more interesting things. I'm not knocking anybody who enjoys it. My daughter absolutely loves EastEnders, and I understand it's escapism. But for me, I don't want to see people being killed in soaps. There's enough of that going on. So if you, you know, I'm sure you'll get that, Andrew, but you enjoy it, and I'm glad you did enjoy it. So Richard's saying his friend Gordon has just had his 92nd birthday, but only looks 72. That's amazing. My uncle went out there because he wanted the warmth of the climate out there. So he emigrated with 4 very small children many moons ago. His children are young. He was 7 years my mum's junior, so he's my mum's brother, but 7 years her junior, and his children are younger. And they're in various places around the country as well. Yeah, so Joe's saying, as an Australian, he always recommends 6 to 8 weeks is a minimum. And Richard's that right, Joe? That right, Joe? Is picture your truck? Oh, I can't see the picture very well. Like, it's tiny. It's not. It's not Joe's. It's owned by a friend of his, fuel distribution business. Okay, there we go. Now they're talking vehicles. That I don't understand much about vehicles. My friend and my gran was. My friend and my gran was 80 last year, and my other gran is 80 this year. Excellent. I can remember my dad's 80th. He celebrated that down here on the Isle of Wight. They were living down here by then. So yes, happy occasions. I can remember it. You know, I can remember some of it. Lots of the memories are getting a bit hazy now. Anyway, I want to tell you, I'm going into the property business. Don't laugh. You will laugh when I tell you why. I've got a property sale coming up tomorrow, but it's a fairy house. Don't panic, folks. Don't think I'm completely off my head, but I am selling this tomorrow. I have a buyer for my fairy house. One of my viewers, somebody I know, somebody on the island, when they saw me making this last week, said, how much was it? How much would it cost? And you know, I asked other crafters, and you know, if you factor in the time and everything it's taken, it would be far too, you know, costly for somebody actually to buy unless they had a lot of money they didn't know what to do with. But that's not why I make them. I don't make things like that. Anyway, she's got a friend who absolutely loves fairy things. And she said, how much, you know, she asked me. So I asked around and found out what the cost would be, you know, if you were doing it, you know, on that sort of basis. And I thought, no, that's way too expensive. And then I remembered this girl was somebody who I had never met. And she was watching me on Facebook, and she responded when I had a crisis. I had a crisis before. I have all sorts of crises through my life, but I was stuck. I can't remember. I think it was something to do with transport and trying to get somewhere and not being able to do it. I think I was going somewhere with a lot of stock for a show or something, and I didn't have a vehicle and that. And she responded, and she was so kind, and I've never forgotten that. So she's getting this for a bargain tomorrow, and the money that she gives me will go to Isle Access, because you know I made it in the Isle Access group, and in fact I didn't make it all on my own. Di and I made this as a project together. It is a gift box, so the top comes off, and you can pop things inside. And so anyway, so she's coming to collect that tomorrow. This was whoa. This fairy house was one I made. Also, oops, that's one I made. Also, a gift box. All these are gift boxes. And then this is a half-finished fairy house. It hasn't got its decorations on this one. Whoops. There we go. But that one has to be finished. So tomorrow that will be collected and making somebody very happy. And while I'm at it, this was one of the first tonics ones I made, the wishing well. And actually, it hasn't got, there's a cover that goes over that bit, and there's also a bucket that comes down. There's a piece that goes through here, and you can put the bucket on a string, and you can wind it down into the bottom of the wishing well. And I made one of these, one of my viewers, it was her husband's birthday, and I didn't know what to do, so I made one of these and I put some chocolate coins. It was so, I said, oh, I need to put something in as a gift for him, and somebody on live stream said, why don't you put chocolate coins? You know, you throw coins into a fountain or a wishing. So I went and got some chocolate coins, and he absolutely loved it. I did his in red, white, and blue. I think it was around the coronation time, so I made it in red, white, and blue, and he loved it. But I absolutely love making this. But you know what? Somewhere on here now, oh, on the bucket, which I can't show you because it's not here, it's around the flat somewhere. You can put a pattern on the side, and the die cut for the metal to cut the die, tiny, and one of those pieces disappeared, and it's been missing for months. And this week I did some housework. No, I've done housework. I haven't not done any housework for months, but this week I decided not to get the vacuum cleaner out, but really sweep the carpet with a stiff brush. And in doing so, that little die, I don't know where it appeared from, but it suddenly appeared, and it's back in its case. So I was delighted that doing my housework found my die. But I think I've told you before that actually, when I do use the vacuum cleaner, I go through the bag afterwards before I throw it all out, because these dies get everywhere. You know, there's these ones, of course, are very big like that, but some of them are teeny tiny, very tiny, and they ping around and they get lost, and they get all over the place. They ping and they bounce, and then they stick to your clothes, and then you go somewhere and then they fall off your clothes. You crafters out there will know what I'm talking about. So anyway, let's go back here. So Joe's saying Tweed Heads is right on the border of New South Wales and Queensland. It's commonly called the Twin Towns, as it has links to Coolangatta in Queensland. Excellent. Andrew's saying these would be fantastic for an indoor fairy trail or for selling as part of a fairy trail for charity. Absolutely. So that sale is one for charity tomorrow. Joe's going to head off now. Take care, everyone. Lynn, it has been a real honour to have been with you on this live. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And thank you, Joe, so much for joining in. And actually for all the support you've given me. Joe has been an amazing supporter of the Go Live Granny community in the past. I think did you just happen to come across me, or did you know somebody who knew me, Joe? I can't remember how we connected, but been a great supporter of the Go Live Granny community in the past. Then there was a little time when we didn't connect, and it's nice now to be connecting again. So take care, Joe, as Richard says. Andrew's saying that these houses would look nice with fairy lights inside them. Absolutely, they would, to look like they're occupied. Absolutely. And Sarah's saying that she's so glad there was another Aussie in here. Bye, Joe. Karen's saying that the projects I have done are magnificent. And you know what? As I say, a year ago, when I was just recovering from being dangerously ill with pneumonia, I started to make one of the projects, and I just made so much mess. I got glue on me, glue on it, glue everywhere. I didn't use the right sort of glue. I hadn't been to glue school, and I thought I would never ever be able to make things like that. And then, of course, I studied the glue school stuff, and of course, there are different glues, and this glue, you might think I got it all perfect. I didn't. Sometimes it squeezes out, but it dries clear and nobody sees it. So I'm giving away my state secrets now, but it's amazing stuff. So anyway, as I say, loving what I'm doing. Oh, and the latest project was this, the wheelbarrow. And the wheel goes round. The wheel on the wheelbarrow goes round and round. So it was amazing. And so I'm going to put the flowers on that, but I haven't done that yet. I started cutting some out at the hub this morning, but I need to get the flowers in that. I've got so many things I want to make. So just amazing. Oh, one of the things I loved, and I will be making on Tuesday, because on once a month I help at the Embracing Age charity, and I'm running a workshop up at Aspire, which is a church that's now turned into a community centre, a great visionary set that one up, and it's amazing. And they, Embracing Age, support people who live in care homes who don't have any family. So people who wouldn't have a birthday present or a birthday card, because they have no family. So Embracing Age send those people cards every month, and then they give them presents for birthdays and Christmas. And what we were making last time were these. So this is my actually, I'm just going to lift this off. This should be on a hinge, but I think the hinge came undone. I've got to re-stick it. And so again, it's a gift box that we made some of these, because when they give these presents, they might give some sweets or some chocolate, and you can pop that in there. Doesn't that make it a much nicer present than just a bag of sweets or a bar of chocolate? So my workshop is 1:30 to 3:45, Abby. So if you want to come along, please do. Let's communicate afterwards. So, and then you wouldn't mind borrowing some of the dies to make your own. So even if you came along to that workshop and you wanted to have some of the dies, you could actually cut some of them out there. We could do something like that. I'm sure we could work around that, because it's just nice to be able to do that. So we'll work on that. And Abby runs them. She's running a craft workshop over in Newport, up downside the old Downside Manor School, if anybody on the island wants to know about that. And I was hoping to get there, but a bit tricky, especially in a morning thing, for me to get anywhere these days. I don't get around as quickly as I used to, and it's not always possible, but I try. I mean, this morning, as I say, I had a lift. I get a lift on a Friday, and I get a lift to Aspire. I said I would only take it on if I could have somebody transport me. So lovely Rebecca, who runs who's the coordinator for the charity, she makes sure she picks me up, and she's enjoying doing the crafting, because of course she doesn't get time to craft. She's such a busy person with the charity. She doesn't get time to craft, but if she has a crafting session, she can craft during the session, so that's lovely. So do come along, Abby, if you want to, and let's talk about that outside. So let's have a look. So I've talked about my property business. I've talked about my family time. I've talked about the hub. I've talked about Aspire. I've sung happy birthday to Kath. I've mentioned Slimming World. Oh, and now, good evening, Facebook user. Evening, Lynn, long time no see. Please identify yourself. I don't know who it is coming in there. And either stay in that group or go out and come in on Facebook or YouTube. Then I can see who you are. Or if you want to give permission, go to streamyard.com/Facebook and give it permission to tell me who you are. Richard's saying that's good. Rebecca's are very good people, but then you're biased. Rebecca is. Oh, right. Oh, do you mean the name Rebecca? And it's Chantel is on Facebook. Hello, Chantel. Nice. Have we met? Have you been here before? Sometimes I forget. I'm a bit more forgetful than I used to be these days, so you have to forgive me. Anyway, on the bottom list here was something I bought this week, and how can a girl get so excited about a dish drainer? My excitement, I was ecstatic this week. I have a dishwasher, and it decided that it wasn't going to empty itself. So I bailed all the water out and got all the water out, and then ran it again in case it was just a little blip. I'd sort of had a gut around. There was nothing seemed to be blocking it, whatever. And I ran it again, and the same thing happened again, which meant I had to bail it out again. So I just and then I just think it's past its sell by date. I knew it was getting on. It's pretty old, and the bottom basket. Some of the things that hold the plates, the metal bits. Some of them have started to rust and fall off, so not a good idea. And I looked into buying a new basket, and the new baskets were £100. And I thought, my goodness, you might as well start buying a new dishwasher if you're going to pay £100 just for the basket. So I thought, well, I'll use it till it doesn't work anymore. Anyway, it works, but it doesn't pump out Hang on. Used to be in the lives ages ago, and life has been. Oh, right. Okay. Chantel, is it you that has a dog? Do you have a dog, Chantal? Mind you, other people have dogs, but it might be who I think you are. So yes, I'm okay, thank you. Yes, Richard's saying he's got a friend, Rebecca, being very good friends of 35 years now. Excellent. So my dishwasher, and of course, you know, while I was recovering last year, there was no way I could stand at the sink and do washing up and whatever. But oh, it is you. Thank you, Chantal. That's excellent. Well, nice to see you here. Welcome back. So I felt, you know, just only very recently, I felt more able to stand at the sink, you know, and so I decided to look and see, get myself a dish drainer, because if you're trying to balance a few plates and a few cups on the side, they're going to slip, they're going to fall, and they're going to knock themselves over. And I thought, oh, let's have a look at dish drainers. So I went on Amazon and I found a dish drainer, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to send you the link. Look, if anybody wants a dish drainer like mine, I am so excited. Here we go. Oh, it's not. It was. I've wanted it to scroll, but it's not scrolling. Okay. So there's the link to my dish drainer, and that's actually an affiliate link. So if anybody buys anything from Amazon, if you go through that link, that will take you to the dish drainer. But if you want anything else off Amazon, go through that link and then go to whatever you want to buy. It will give me a few pennies. It's, you know, it's not a great money making scheme. It doesn't cost you any more, but it puts a few pennies in to help the old channel, because I have to pay for the hosting of the channel, and you know, the StreamYard costs and all that. And I'm still trying to get my son to organise my website where all these things will live. But you know, he's a busy man, so it might happen one day. We'll see. I'm not going to get stressed about it. Anyway, so that's my dish drainer. My mum had dish drainers because we never had dishwashers in then, and they were just those ones with a shelf and a shelf and a shelf. And then you tried to balance everything on and hope it all worked and whatever. When I looked at the new ones, wow, you got it comes, you have to put it together, but it literally took me 10 minutes and it was very easy to put together. So you've got a bottom piece, you've got a drip tray at the bottom, and on the drip tray there's a nozzle. There's a piece that you put over the sink, and it all the water drains into the sink. Wow, so you haven't got water going everywhere from just all the things dripping. So that was a bonus. Hang on, so I'm going to wait a minute, I'm going to go back. Hang on, let me go back to the comments. There we go. That's it. Right, night night, Abby. Right, night night. Speak soon. So you've got this thing that drains the water into the sink, which is absolutely perfect, and you can move it depending on how you've got it balanced, because different people's will have them at different angles on the sink. I thought I was going to have it this way, and it didn't work that way, and I put it that way. But you can move the spout over the sink, so it goes the sink, the draining water goes into the sink. So you've got a drainer, and then you've got the first level where you can put pots, pans, whatever you like, and then you've got the next bit up where it's got some spaces for plates and dishes, and then it's got some wider ones on the side where I go and get a frying pan and I can get a saucepan lid and other things. Then it's got what looks like coat hooks on the side, and on those you can put your cups, so they balance out over the edge, but they're, you know, it's good and solid. And then there's a draining thing for the knives and forks, and then and I had to reposition that. They had it on the side, but if I had it on the side, it was going to drip over the edge of the not over, it wasn't going to land in the drip tray. So I've just moved it round, and it now goes, the drips go in the sink, so that's all right, wasn't a problem. And I was so excited. And not only that, it was originally 30 something pounds, then it had a £5 voucher off it, I think, and then I had done some cash back for my Tonic Studio stuff. I belong to a website that gives me cash back. I couldn't get cash back on Top Cash, which I usually use for cash back, on Tonics because they're not part of that system. But I found another cashback site that will give you cashback off your Tonic Studio stuff. So anybody watching who's buying from Tonic Studio, let me know and I'll give you. Oh, let me see. I think I've got have I got a banner for that? Yes, I think I have. So there's the dish tray. If you want any of these, let me know. This is the oops, let's take the dish drainer off. And this is the site now. If you want to buy from Tonic, first of all sign up for the Cooper link and then go into Tonic site through the Cooper site and you will get cash back. And who doesn't like cash back on their goodies? Why spend full amount if you can get cash back just by clicking on through the links? Anyway, so that's let's go back to the comments. So there we go. So I've got all these little links, and as I say, they'll give me a few pennies, and it is only a few pennies, but a few pennies just help with these things. Anyway, so yes, so with Cooper, I had actually converted some of my cash back to an Amazon voucher. So I got the Amazon voucher. So I actually only ended up paying about £13 out in actual real money. I know the Amazon was real money sort of, but it didn't feel so painful only paying £13 for the dish drainer. And I have now decided that I actually quite enjoy washing up. I never used to, and I certainly didn't when I was ill, in recovering. But it only takes me a few minutes because it's just me. There's not a lot of it, and I get it's actually washing the dishes better than my dishwasher was. Well, my dishwasher was not that efficient anymore. So I don't see the point of spending nearly £300 out on a dishwasher at the moment. So I was quite happy, and I noticed I think they've gone down a bit in price. So when I looked just now, that one was £29.69 or some random, because the prices on Amazon change from day to day, and so it was about £29.69. And if you tick the box, you got £5 voucher off. You have to remember to tick the box, and then why wouldn't you? And then you get that £5 off. So, these things are. You just have to have a look if you've got time. I mean, I've got a lot of time for these things. Some of you don't have the time to do all those, but it's quite a fun exercise to do. So lots of lovely things going on in my life. The weekend, oh yes, I've got somebody coming to buy my house, my little fairy house, and that money I've told Jan already that she'll be getting that money going in for the Isle Access charity. Coming up, we are on the 8th of June. The people who run the hub where we go, it's the Newport and Carisbrooke Community Council building. So the Newport Council offices are there, and they organise a lot of things. So they have their offices upstairs, and the downstairs is public open space. And they are organising a D-Day event in Victoria Rec on June the 8th, and they wanted us as from the hub to have a display there. And we've decided that because it's D-Day, we need to be doing craft items that connect. And funnily enough, the other day, my sister-in-law randomly gave me a whole pile of knitted poppies. These are her poppies, not mine. She leaves a nice long end on them so I can do whatever I like with them. Anything she knits for me, she leaves the long end so I can, sew them onto something if I want to. So we've got a lot of these. So these are going to be part of our display because it's a D-Day display. We're trying to think, what can we do for a D-Day display craft-wise? So I've got these, but I'm going to go through my dies and my stamps because I know I've got a lot of poppy stuff in there, and I know that we can make a nice display. So that's what we're gearing up to. So I have to give that some thought. But in the meantime, I'm going to have lots of fun with all my other dies. I bought this. Look at these dies. Can you see? This This is 3 butterflies, and they're connected together. Some of the dyes I actually get from China. Some people say, well, you shouldn't buy from China. Listen, if I buy from some of them from China, it means I can get more of them, and I can do lots more. And so they're attached to each other. They don't have to be attached to each other. And today I got some pliers, because when you've got the ones that come from China, look, I'm going to look, you can break them apart, but they have these sharp metal bits on them. And in order to get those off, I've just ordered myself some jewelry pliers to take off those bits. But these are wonderful. Sam and Gaz, who come to the hub sometimes, Sam had some like this, and she cut some of these out, and these wings all lift up. So if you cut that out, you've got a butterfly with wings that stand up as well, and they're amazing. And so these didn't cost very much at all. So I treated myself to a few bits and pieces there. So I've got a whole pile of stuff here. One of the other. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this one. This is from Tonics proper. So when they come from Tonics, look, they're like this, and they've got lovely packaging, and they've got storage, magnetic things to put your dyes on, and then they go in a storage, and you can put them in a binder. I'm going to put them in a drawer like this, actually, or on a shelf, but I haven't got any binders. But look at this beautiful one. This is a memory book. Look, so I might be doing some of these at something. A memory book. So this is a book, and you can make this up and put lots of photographs and things of people's memories. And that is a box with a memory book on the top of it all that goes in it. Just amazing. And look, this is how it comes. And I wasn't going to buy this. I wasn't sure if I'd ever make the memory book. And then I thought, well, I think I might. But when I saw all these dies, and look, those are nesting dies. They make all the different size pages for the memory book, but they make other things on their own, just as the shapes. And I thought, wow, that's an amazing set to have, just like that. So I bought it just partly just for that set. But there's lots of other bits in here. That's lots of fun. So I might have a go at making memory books for my family at some stage. Let's show you. I've got a lot. I'll just show you what's here now, and then I'm going to go and make myself a cup of tea in a minute. Tracy says she's got this set, the memory book. That's funny. It came out. There was a week where they had March Madness, and every day for 4 days they had a new release, including the twirling teacups. And I thought, no, I don't need any of that. I don't need any of that. Oh dear, it seems to be that it fell into my shopping basket. But the thing is, it's up to me what I spend my money on, and it's not up to anybody else. So, and this was one I got before. I think I got this one before Christmas. Oh, is this one or two? I've got 2 here in the same pack. So this one I haven't yet made. This is the rocking horse. Look, so you can they've got one made up as a Christmas rocking horse, and then they've got other, so you could make that as a nice gift. Hello, Elizabeth, nice to see you. Nearly finished the broadcast, but you can watch the replay if you want to see what we've been up to. Elizabeth coming in there and waving. Elizabeth, a very loyal supporter of the Go Live Granny community. Yes, so that's the rocking horse, look, and there's all the bits and pieces for the rocking horse in there. Haven't made that one yet. And then this was the other one, the baby one. And I have got a baby box. It's a girl. And look. Tracy, message me privately. Because I can help you out probably with that. And look, a little 3D pram on the top, and the lid comes off. And these are what they call exploding boxes, where they open up like that. And look, there's a little rocking horse in there, and lots of lovely little bits. Can you see? So, and you can see I have such fun. And even if nobody else was interested, I would enjoy myself. So good for the mental health, as long as you're patient with it. If patience isn't your thing, then it wouldn't be good for your mental health, because you get very frustrated and fed up with it and want to throw it in the bin. But for me, very, very therapeutic making these things. It's just wonderful. And so I think, oh, there's more up there, but I can't reach those. Oh, the same. I used the same box there. I used that box, and I made one that's more like, spacey. So you can just do these things. And you can put other things inside. You can put another little box or something else inside. I haven't decorated that one inside yet, but it's my favourite colours, purple. So there we go. And I wonder what's coming next. Well, definitely got to put the flowers into the wheelbarrow. I think that would make a lovely present for the people that the Embracing Age charity do. We're going to do these to give us presents. But I think that these would be nice presents for the people in the care homes, and having lots of flowers in there. So I got to finish my wheelbarrow. So many lovely things. I don't know what to do next. So this one, yes, it's ABC blocks, and but as I say, it doesn't have to be boy and girl. I've done that one there with the spacing. You can actually make the boxes and decorate them however you like. Elizabeth's daughter's birthday. Elizabeth's daughter's favourite colour is purple. Mine has always been purple, from the day from as young as I can remember. And then I went to a school that had, my primary school had a purple and grey check school uniform for the summer, and my next school had purple as part of the design on the ties. And then my college scarf, and I found it the other day, I've got it in the other room. My college scarf was purple and this sort of colour. And when I had my colours done, those came out as the best colours that suited me. So wasn't that fun? So there you go. So, folks, I think that's it. We've been on about an hour and a half, and I've had some lovely, loyal people in here. Hope you've enjoyed it. And maybe next time there'll be more decorations up there, because I'm going to decorate. I have family photographs up there, but we're not over keen for the grandchildren to be seen on social media. So I'm going to move those. I've taken them and I'm going to move them. And I've got another area where I'm going to put those photographs. But I also might get some of my photographs printed. I take hundreds of photographs, probably thousands of photographs when I'm with family, and I've got a TV screen over there, and when it's not being a TV, it's being a screen for my Google Photos, and I can see some photos up there now of when I was at my daughter's house. And sometimes it puts one photograph up, sometimes it splits the screen and it puts two, and I can see my daughter and my 4-year-old granddaughter and my 2-year-old granddaughter in one picture, and I can see my 14-year-old granddaughter with holding one of the little grandchildren. So there we go, and it's lovely. Elizabeth's granddaughter is in high school. Her school uniform is full black and a yellow tie. That sounds nice. Now my twin granddaughters, that's the oldest ones, are just coming up 17, and they're going to get their provisional licenses. Woo! They only seem to have been babies a few minutes ago, and now they're just going to get their driving licenses. It's just amazing. But anyway, I'm sure they'll do very well with that. And I got to check with my daughter. They've been away at an explorers camp this week to do some caving and things like that. It's not something that appeals to me, but it will appeal to them. And so they were getting back tonight. So I'm interested to see how their journeys and all that went. I'm a very interested granny. I like to know what they're up to, and they're good, and they have phones now, so I can send them messages and they can send me messages. And one of them was in a concert while I was there, so I was able to go to the concert. So, and then my daughter keeps me very informed as to what they're all doing, and she's very good. She sends loads of photographs of them in their uniforms, their explorer uniforms, their school whatever they're doing, their prom dresses or whatever. She keeps me so up to date. I would love Bourneville Station in Birmingham. Yes, because it's purple. It's got a purple paint scheme. I certainly would love it. And look, on my screen here, I've got purple. I wonder why, but there you go. So, folks, it's been an absolute pleasure having you all here.
When I first used to do these lives beginning, I think, whatever am I going to talk about? And I think Jan this morning made me laugh. She alluded to the fact about something about I would never be short of something to talk about. I took it in the way I think she meant it. It was meant very, very kindly. um, there you go. But I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've found it enjoyable. I hope you've enjoyed um, chatting with each other. And Elizabeth, sorry you came in at the end there, but do watch the replay if you want to know what we were talking about. We've covered a lot of ground, and keep watching. I'm going to be making some more cards. I'm going to make cards to sell. We're hoping to have to be able to sell them through the Isle Access website. So Jan's trying to sort that one out, and then I had a lucky donation the other day. Somebody knows that I make cards and gifts for the Embracing Age charity, where we actually give them. We're not selling those ones; we're giving those. And she's a crafter who isn't doing much crafting anymore, and she had a whole stack of cards she used to sell at shows that she'd made, and she gave them to me for the charity. So that was amazing. So on Tuesday, I should be passing those over to Rebecca, um, so that um, so that she can have those to send to those lovely people. Yes, Tracy, I'll message you privately, and we can discuss that die. And and thank you, your friend has a thank that lovely my friend Joe has a purple wig and blonde and pink. Excellent. So much purple about, but it's always been my favourite colour. And in fact, so much so that any time when my twin granddaughters were little, and the next daughter, the next granddaughter down from them, any time they saw anything purple, like a purple car or a purple this, they'd always tell their mummy, Granny would like that. So there you go. And of course, I've got purple up here, the Go Life Granny. One of my lovely community made that for me. I've actually got another one in pink. I've had two members of my community make banners like that for me. They're smoothie hats. So they're the little smoothie hats that we make to give to send to the Age UK charity that puts them on the innocent smoothie bottles, and then they sell them and raise money for Age UK. And so we, as a community, that everybody was sending them to me, but one of my community sent me those. And the previous time when we did it, another member of the community, I don't think either of them knew about each other. Another member of the community made me some in pink, so I've got two of those banners. Anyway, so Richard, is this you? Richard, you didn't tell me that before. So Richard's saying, I'm sure he won't mind because he's put it publicly. They're currently in the 5th round of chemo for pancreatic cancer and tumours starting to shrink. Excellent news, Richard. That's really pleased. Not excellent news that you've got it, but excellent news that it's starting to shrink. And you were diagnosed in November. So it's so important, you guys, get out there and get tested. It's so important. And of course, ladies, go and get tested for what you need to be tested too. Oh, it's not you. Sorry. Richard, you're confusing me. You were confusing me. It's your friend Joe that has cancer. Right. Oh, you got me confused there, Richard. I thought I misread that and thought you meant you. Oh, so yes, if I see what you've put. Your lovely friend Joe has put, and currently in the 5th round. So you put two comments, and I didn't put the first comment with the second comment. Sorry. So I'm glad that it's no, it's all right. I get confused very easily, so don't worry about it. The lady with the wigs, yes, absolutely. Well, it's so good that's good news that it's actually starting to shrink, because they can do some pretty amazing things these days, can't they? So anyway, I'm going to go off and have a cup of tea, which isn't particularly amazing, but I certainly need a cup of tea. I think I might watch another program or two on the iPlayer, because I love my iPlayer now. And then not too late at night, I don't think. I play a few games on my phone because I like doing that. I've got a game I love playing where you have to, it's called, what's it called? I've forgotten. I think it's Zen Blossom. And all these flowers and floral things, they're flowers, yes, just drop down all over random, and some of the tiles turn over and some of them are deliberately upside down, and you have to find three the same, but they all land on top of each other, and you have to be able to match three and find. And I absolutely love it. I'm addicted to it. Used to think people playing on their games was just such a on their phones was such a waste of time. No, not at all. I love it. It's very good for your mental state. So Elizabeth saying excellent news for your friend Richard. So that really is. And Richard saying tea is amazing. Pick me up. It certainly is. I do love my cups of tea. And with Slimming World, I measure my milk, so you can have a certain amount of milk, and I can have more cups of tea if I go to skimmed milk rather than semi-skimmed milk. So I converted to skimmed, so I can have more cups of tea. There we go. Oh, now Richard saying he has that game, and it's a variant of Mahjong. I've seen the Mahjong, and there's a version for seniors, isn't there? But that looked a bit more. I love the floral bit of the Zen Blossom. So anyway, I shall go and have a play on my Zen Blossom. I shall reflect on all you lovely people and all the lovely comments you've made while I'm making my cup of tea. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Elizabeth saying she does loves her tea. Lynn, she's on skimmed milk, right? Yes, okay. So by choice I wouldn't have had skimmed milk, but because I like my tea, I can have more. Because you can have 350 milliliters of is that right, milliliters of skimmed milk, or 250 if it's semi-skimmed. So that's more cups of tea. Anyway, night everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here in Go Live Granny Towers, or whatever we call it, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon. So you don't drink water, Elizabeth. I do drink water, and I also drink under Slimming World. I can also have any of the juices that are no added sugar. That's good. Night, Kathleen. Have an excellent birthday tomorrow. And oh yes, and Richard's saying this was a bargain. He told me about the other day. His brother got 4 pints of skimmed milk the other day for 10p at Asda. So I hope he managed to use it all. Night. Night, Kath. Lovely to see you too. It was you that prompted me when you said, "Are you going to do another live soon?" I thought, you know what? It's been a while. I need to do this, and I've really enjoyed it. Night, Tracy. Night, everybody. And have a wonderful weekend. Wonderful weekend. And I'll come back and have a chat with you again soon. Bye.